Hold on, is this on? Sorry about everything. So anyway, hello, my name is Chris, and today I'm gonna be explaining to you about some features about my experiences of Vidcon in my past and how this is gonna be happening in the year 2025, and who are the creators I wanted to try to meet. About myself is I am actually a college student, which I'm gonna be in junior in next year because I already finished my second year in college, and my major is cinema and television arts. So my main plan for my future after when I'm done with this is probably I want to work at some companies about filming, making movies, YouTube videos, something like that. Not YouTube videos, I mean like film shows, episodes, something like that in Netflix. If that's not gonna happen, then probably I can work in many other companies, which I have a bunch of experience about. Another thing about myself is that I used to be a band student geek. I started since like in 7th grade, but back when I got to know music, when I was in 6th grade, I began to learn how to play an instrument in elementary, which my first instrument, it was a trombone. But back when, after in my next year in 7th grade, I entered in beginning band and I actually learned another instrument, which is the tuba. And when I got to know and play the instrument, the tuba, for a very long time, I played for 6 or 7 years, and I like that instrument very much. It's because that instrument actually is very inspiring. It's an anonymous type of instrument that I actually have a lot of passion about. Not only I play the tuba, I also play other instruments. Like again, I play the trombone still, and also I play some other instruments such as the piano, the harp, the bass, and the saxophone. One thing for sure that I want to say is that like things that I actually really do for my living. So sometimes I do work, stay online, I do a bunch of stuff in Instagram, because actually I do more stuff in Instagram instead of doing YouTube, because I'm actually pretty busy and I just doing some bunch of things here most of the time because I have a lot of things that I need to take care of, such as my responsibilities, my family, and sometimes my friends, whoever like need to try to take care of. Enough thing about talking about myself. Now I'm gonna be explaining about what's gonna be happening about this event that's coming up. So if you don't know what Vidcon means, I'm gonna explain and show it to you about what this Vidcon actually means. Sorry about that. So here's the thing I wanted to explain to you what this Vidcon actually means. So Vidcon is actually it's like an actual a convention annual event that when bunch of people such as content creators, fans, industry professionals, and brand companies who I actually wanted to come together to celebrate and explore the world of online video and digital entertainment. It also has some features such as panels, workshops, meet and greets, exhibitor halls, special announcements, and some other feature things like providing space of networking, learning, and community building within some digital creator ecosystem. This event is actually trying to aim to connect creators with the audiences and trying to promote innovation in online media. A lot of things about from Vidcon is that all this stuff actually I got to know about is actually a few things that one of my friends actually told me about. And also when I got to go to Vidcon, a bunch of creators explained to me, and everything just changed my life and everything that's going on. Because back in my time when I don't even know or what this Vidcon means, my life is actually have deep thoughts because I have a bunch of anxiety and depression towards my family and a lot of features of my income. Before now, when I actually know about Vidcon, everything that I've seen so far, it just changed my life. Because when I seen and learned about from them, it's just everything just helped me out for a bit before if I wanted to know what is actually known for my passion. If all of this from filming and editing or trying to make a video and entertain people, that's actually why I wanted to learn and trying to create that type of ecosystem which I wanted to entertain people or actually just show out or explain some new things about something. So with Vidcon, there's a lot of things has been going on. For example, we got to see a lot of things. First of all, at the beginning, once you have entered in Vidcon at the registration section, which is happening on the first day, you need to form a line, which means you're going to try to pick up and get your credentials and your wristbands for the entrance. Before you receive that, you need to get an email invitation about if you have bought your ticket. For example, I always bought the 4-day community day ticket because I'm actually basically a fan, because I am not a type of person who is a content creator yet. For the first time ever, when I got to Vidcon, I actually bought that ticket one day before when the registration actually started, because I remember in the year 2023 when I bought that ticket, I'm not sure if it's not in the in a day before, which is around, I think it's June 15 or 16, because I remember exactly it was one day before, either June 14 or 15. And when I heard about these features, when I heard it says meet and greets, that's something like I really want to see, because I really want to meet some creators. I want to talk to them and get to know them, and I want to ask them some simple questions about like some information like they actually do, what are their passions, what are their experiences like they want to do, what are their plans about the future, and everything else. Another thing I want to be talking about is that like everything else that I learned so far, not a lot of things I learned, but there are a lot of things I actually like took all the parts, the excitement, everything. Saw about like I see some panels, I see some festivals going on, I see some celebrations, I see workshops, a lot of like strange thing that's been happening. So because it says, you know, this is my first time ever, and probably gonna go like insane after when I go to this year, because everything is pretty much just gonna be happening the same, except like, you know, every single year in Vidcon it's always going to do something different. So the thing I really know and like about Vidcon is to get to see and meet the creators. For example, here are a lot of like nostalgic and memorable creators that I got to meet. Like for example, I got to meet ZHC, Michelle, Oddity and Richard, Sean Does Magic, Hazen Kassier, Dream, Plain Rock 124, Jordan Salish and Hudson Matter, Nick Lamau, Ben of the Week, Jesser, and so much more. Like these creators actually inspired me a lot, and bunch of them I actually pretty know well. Like a lot of these videos actually entertain me, and the reason why I wanted to ask, because I wanted to ask him some question about like how is it like to be a YouTuber, and also like what are the future things they're gonna do for the future. And a bunch of these answers are actually like pretty like entertaining and very awesome actually. One thing I wanted to ask about like same question too, and also they have different opinions and different responses, like which I could take. After we're done with this conversation, I'm gonna show you like a bunch of these photographs about like who are these content creators that I got to meet from the year 2023 and last year in 2024. And speaking of the year 2024, here's one thing I wanted to explore and share you guys about that experience. In that experience, this is when the first time ever when I took my little brother, which his name is William. He never even been to VidCon before, and he was actually very impatient and very excited about like going there. And because the first time I remember when I told him about the year in 2023, he was actually kind of lonely and upset about like why I didn't take him, because you know most of the time he is in a younger age when he was barely turning 7 years old. I helped him out by raising a few more funds just to pay enough for her to go with me. So another thing about like from the experience is that my little brother is actually a few fans of one of the content creators that he actually meet. For example, he got to meet some few, like a lot, to be honest. When I mean a few, it is a lot. And of course, the most nostalgic and the most future and honorable content creators I got to meet, it was Matt Penn and Stephanie. A lot of these future creators also like inspired me and also my little brother too, because we also got to ask them some questions. There's a bunch of other creators I got to see them like since in the year 2023, and some others like we never even met them before. Some almost like Sean Does Magic, Jordan Salish and Hudson Matter, and some few other future creators and much more. But like as for instance, I just wanted to explain about like what are some things like I need to tell about for this experience. So in the year 2024 is actually one of the better days when a lot of things has been happening too, because for example, like I didn't even explore enough times or booths about things I didn't even get a chance to do during the year 2023. Is that I didn't get enough time to explore a bunch of panels, because in the year 2023 it was a day when the year of the event is like I got to enjoy or rush through a bunch of panels and trying to know and learn and funds a lot of what I'm trying to say is here are some actual future ways that why that I didn't do that much effects on 2023 compared to 2024. In the year 2023, I didn't get a chance to get through all the booths. It's because in that time of year, I didn't even know enough. I wasn't even interested that much in the booths, because a bunch of them, some of these booths of the sponsorships actually I do understand. For example, like Makeshift, State Farm, and other features. But one thing for sure I was pretty fan of, well, it was Makeshift, because Makeshift is the type of company who always actually feature like support of some content creators trying to make their own campaign or whatever type of objective things that they want to do. For example, like all of these stuff right here in the background, I'm a big fan of Makeshift because I usually collect a bunch of my favorite content creator plushies because I am pretty addicted to. Sorry. Not about that. Also, the reason why I didn't even do that much in 2023 is that this is actually was my first time, which I didn't even understand what's going on and everything else. And yeah, but finally, when I actually understand in 2024, I got to do a lot of things, and I was very active, and I got to teach and show a lot of things to my brother. For example, a bunch of new booths and some few content creators that I actually know. Some content creators made my brother know, and also some things like entertaining ourselves, like doing some activity. For example, we get to play this type of game, which is at State Farm. And another thing I wanted to show about New Year 2024 that didn't go well is that like few days before the event actually started, I had to go to one event that's happening nearby at Garden Walk. And also forgot to mention, like right here, I live in Anaheim, California. We do have a lot of things going on. Not only there's like convention nearby here, we also do have a Disneyland. We do have some places like the Angel Stadium, Knott's Berry Farm, Garden Walk, a lot of crazy places that we have going on here. And also a reason that I want to say this is that like right before and a couple days before when VidCon and the first day I had to join with my brother in 2024 was that my grandparents actually came here from the country, which I personally was not expecting to come by, and during that week, oh my god, there's so much flies. I wish I would have brought Raid. So one things I wanted to say is that my grandparents came by during like only came here for at least a week or two. I'm not sure how long that he came here, but they wanted to come by and just wanted to have a little visit and then want to stay here for a couple weeks. Because they were being invited for being one of my aunt's wedding, because I didn't remember there was a wedding, and that wedding was happening on the last day of the event of VidCon, which I personally didn't want to miss out, because there's actually one of the future things, like there's one of the future things that I wanted to do until that event comes by. And a lot of things have always been turned to chaos when me and my brother had to rush through a lot of things, and my dad wasn't very happy because we had to come by home walking. But good thing we don't live that far. That was like a 15-minute walk from home, because me and my brother live close to Disneyland and Anaheim Convention. But one thing I want to say is that like me and my brother had to walk home quickly because he want us to take a shower real quickly before we need to get dressed up and be ready for my uncle and my aunt's wedding. You know what, to be honest, we didn't even went to the wedding for me and my brother. Actually, my parents and my sister actually just went to the wedding, but for me and my brother we didn't, because like during that time we were still at the event. Everything was going up in normal days, but afterwards when we got out like at 6:30, my father called me and he says like once like if everything is done, the expo hall, the activities, he wants me and my brother home. So one thing I want to say is that a bunch of these experiences, like in 2023, it's not like much experiential that I thought, but in the year 2024 it was actually a lot more like entertaining and fun, but it was rushed because, you know, situations of family. For sure, I wanted to say here are my plans are about for the year in 2025. And here are some things I wanted to give you some facts about the year 2025. I know I'm not saying pretty much because, you know, it's actually kind of pretty light, but pretty much I'm gonna say everything else once in the next video, or the next day actually when I'm gonna make another video. The only thing I'm gonna say is that I'm just gonna show you some quick things that I got to do and got to meet. So here's some feature photos and videos, and a lot of things has been done. And let me know in the comments and tell me about which one of these creators do you think that I met, because not all of them is gonna have names on it, or probably, you know what, I'm not gonna put any names on either of them. So pretty much just tell me all the names in the list in the comments once if this video gets uploaded. Anyways, enough of that speaking. That's pretty much it for the video, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You don't have to do anything for the video. I don't want any likes or any subscribers. I just want to make this video a little bit entertaining because this is actually my first video that I'm ever gonna do. So if you are actually curious, and just pretty much you can just do is just like do the opposite that I said. Enough for that. So thank you so much for watching, and here's a little clip of all the content creators that I got to meet. Thank you.